Yo! Sorry, I didn't give you a heads up. I was going to turn the mic on. Okay, so there's probably not a lot of people here yet, but, we've got a bit of work to do. Yeah, the first thing I want to cover is I actually did an amount of work off stream on this after last week. Which I know I said I was going to stream, I wanted to stream the entire development of this game, but I feel like this bug I ran into, there was just so much time spent and wasted with me just staring at it and then wandering off and laying down and then coming back and staring at it again. Like, it probably would have been a day's stream of accomplishing almost nothing. And changing almost no code, while I just figure out what was even going on. So, the bug has been resolved. But let's very briefly, and by very briefly I mean probably not actually super briefly, go over what exactly it is that I have done since last time. Hold up while I spend a minute to actually look at the code and figure out for myself what it is that I did since last time. Because I have a... Hey there, Daisy. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I was having a problem. This wasn't really a bug, but it was something I needed to work on. Where the AI could block itself out by grabbing the garbage, and then it would just, if there was enough of it, it would just collect all of the garbage and throw it all on the lowest possible destination, because it would just go and collect all of it. So it'd throw down like 15 blocks and just kill itself. So I had to put in a thing here that actually checks and says, hey, if you are holding garbage, just take it straight to the dump, one at a time. So that was the first thing that I put in. This is what I was working on at the end of the previous stream. But I just added this little bit in here that says, like, if you're holding garbage, dump it. If you're not holding garbage, do other various things with it. So that was that. From there, the issue became... Now, this bug still confuses me, because I don't know why it happens. Like, I don't know why the AI what happens to let the AI do this. But I found it would set a dig destination and try to dig down at a location, only the gem that it was looking for was no longer there. Like, maybe when it started digging it was there, but then it went away. But they continued trying to dig there. And I still don't know exactly what happened to cause this. There's nothing I can think of in the AI, as far as the AI is concerned, would make that happen. So since I couldn't really figure this one out, I just implemented a workaround where I put in... Where is it? Okay, so right here, it's right here, I just kind of blindly said, if you have a dig destination, go there. I added in a very small function, I wrote a very small function, that just checks if a dig destination is still valid. So instead of saying, if you have a dig destination, go there, I say, if you have a dig destination and it's still valid, go there. Otherwise it'll act like there is no dig destination. And the checking if it's valid function is very simple. It's just this function down here that just checks the row at the dig destination for the gem that you're trying to find at dig destination. And if it doesn't find it, then it returns false. I don't know why, because nothing in the AI should let a dig destination become invalid without taking some other action that would take it out of dig mode anyway. But that solved the problem, so whatever. I'm not going to kill myself over that one, because I was already killing myself. So, the final problem, and this is the kicker. Those two I could have solved in, like, maybe half an hour, like, between the two of them. The kicker, and what I spent, like, I finished streaming on Saturday. I spent, like, all the rest of Saturday and all of Sunday trying to fix this. And it took until the end of Sunday for me to solve this bug, for me to figure out what happened. So, what happened is the clown would be going back and forth, and occasionally it would just stop. Like, its AI would just stop. It would stop grabbing, throwing, moving, anything, and like the gems would pile up, the way the gems were laid out would change due to various other things happening, but it would just sit there. Okay. It is on. But yeah, it would just stop. And I could not figure out why it was just stopping. So after studying it for a long enough time, I found out that what it was doing was it was getting to the point in Morgana's AI where it was digging. So I checked and went like, okay, it's digging. It's got a dig destination, it's trying to get to the dig destination, the dig destination is valid, that's what the AI is trying to do. So it'd get here, and I'd check and say like, yeah, it's finding the dig destination, it's doing that. So the next thing it should do is grab all. But it wasn't. It was just sitting there doing nothing. So I was wondering, is it even getting this far? Is it getting caught somewhere higher up? So I put in a cout statement that just told me, for one, the first time I did it was just, is it even getting here? And it was. It was repeatedly getting here. Then I checked and said, well, we just need to grab all. So what's our X and what's our destination? I see them as being the same, but I want to make sure they're the same when we get here. And I checked them, and they were still the same. Like, it would get this far. I had my cout, like, right here. And it would say, our destination and our X value are the same. But then it wouldn't do this. And I couldn't figure out why it wasn't triggering such a simple command when I could inspect both variables and it was true. It just made no sense. So I eventually figured, well, I eventually moved this down here, so it's in the same thing as the grab all, so it's right after it. At which point, it still ran. Which means it did get in here. It was running the grab all. So then I had to go look at the grab all. Like, where's grab all? In-game... grab all. So I was like looking through the grab all here, trying to figure out what specific situation could make this entire function just not even run. And I couldn't figure it out. I was stumped. That was it. I stared at it for hours and hours, and I slept on it and came back the next day, and I stared at it for hours and hours. And like, I was about to say, this game's just not going to have an AI. I can't... This is it. That's it for me. So by pure happenstance, I came in and decided to run the game, and when it was stuck, when the AI got stuck, I paused the game and started inspecting some variables. I gotta wait 20 minutes for it to open up because I want to show you guys what's going on. Or what specifically it was that I looked at. The game is always very slow to start the first time. I don't know why. Because, like, after I run it the first time, like, the second time I run it, it's fine. Third, fourth, on, it's all fine. The first time always takes forever. I do not know why. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, no, it started here, really? God dang it. It should be fine. Here we go, starts up super quick. Okay, so just by pure happenstance, when I was running, when it got stuck, I paused the game, like this, and actually looked down, and I saw, like, this was kind of the turning point to starting to figure out what the problem was. This happened probably midday Sunday. Was, I happened to look down, and I just so happened to see, in a situation much like this one, that there was one move gem. You may or may not be able to read text this small, but there are 0 move gems now, which the move gems are the tiny little gems that go up and down whenever you grab things, or things fall, or anything's going on. Like, anything that's not one of these big static gems is a move gem. And I paused it when it was stuck, got here, and I saw move gem 1. I'm gonna see if I can't catch a move gem, like, part way. You see, now you can see there's 6 move gems. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, I got to that point, and it said there was 1 move gem. So I clicked on it, and it highlights wherever the move gem is. I clicked on it, and it was over top of the clown that wasn't moving. Like, it was just chilling right up there on top of them. And so I could look down at the instance variables on it, and I can see speed, so I can tell which speed, I could see distance, make block was 0, and I could tell that make block was 0, and speed was 80, which tells me that it's one of the gems going up. Because the speed of 80 only happens when you either grab or throw, but when you throw, make block is 1. Distance would tell me immediately if it was going up or down, because a negative distance means it's going up, positive distance is going down, but distance was 0. Distance is just how far it has left to move before it deletes itself. And if distance is 0, it shouldn't exist. Like, when distance hits 0, it deletes itself. But it's just chilling up there. Clearly its destination was over top of the clown, and distance was 0. So, like, you picked it up, and it got there, and then didn't delete itself. And I looked at the code in graball. So I looked at the code in graball, and there are systems in place to account for this. I gotta find them. They're in here somewhere. Yeah, so my conclusion was I didn't immediately know if this would solve the problem, but my guess was that the reason the AI locked up had something to do with that move gem. Probably it was like trying to pick it up repeatedly but couldn't. And I eventually looked in here and determined that if a move gem just exists somewhere with a distance of 0, and you try to grab it, like if that move gem got to the location where it was 0 and you tried to grab it, there was nothing in the system to handle that situation. Which made sense then. So the clown was up here just infinitely trying to grab this move gem, but nothing in the system could handle a move gem with a distance, trying to grab a move gem with a distance of 0. But then I ran into the problem of like, figuring out, so how did it... So I understand why it's stuck up here, but how did it get to this situation so I can stop it from happening? And there's... It again didn't make sense, because I have a system in place here that checks for when distance is done, I guess, when it's done moving. If I can find it. It's like I compare how far it needs to move and how far it's going to move. And if it's going to move farther than it needs to move, then I just set everything to 0 and delete it right then. Like I have systems in place to account for even if your distance was set exactly to 0 while it was moving, it would be accounted for. So I couldn't then figure out... Hey there, hypothermia! So, the problem then was... If the gem was moving towards its destination, it would not be able to get its distance set to 0, and then kicked out of the rotation to get stuck in that loop. Somewhere, its distance had to be getting set to 0. Oh, it's actually up here. It was in effects. Move gem movement. This is where I have the whole system put in place for, like, where I put temp move Y in, and I check how far it's moving, and whether or not it's going to make anything, and move at the appropriate distance, and I set its distance to 0 and delete the gem and do all of that right in here in... So, somewhere it had to be getting its distance set to 0. So after another hour or two, I figured out, the only other places where its distance could be set to 0 were when you grabbed the gem. So if, when you were grabbing the gem, its distance was getting set to 0, so what was happening was, and I don't entirely understand this, but somehow the gem was, like, moving. Maybe it was up here, like up above, because whenever you throw gems, I spawn like 3 move gems, like tiled up, and then they fall straight down. Maybe it was something like when the 3 were up here and they were falling down, it hit grab all when one of the move gems was exactly lined up with the clown. It would then say, how far does this gem need to move? Well, it needs to move to the clown. Well, it's already on top of the clown, so let's go ahead and set the distance to 0. Then when it hits 0, it'll get rid of itself.
There's a stink bug in the window, so I'm closing it.
So the problem was, whenever you grab a gem that is exactly lined up with the clown, it would get its distance set to 0. And then it would never be able to be grabbed. You would try to grab it, but you couldn't, and it would just sit there forever. So, that was the problem. That took me until latter Sunday to figure out. Now, solving that problem, once I figured it out, wasn't too bad. All I do is, when you grab the gem, it does all its calculations to determine how far does this gem need to move in order to... How far does this gem need to move in order to reach its destination? And right after I set its distance, I check if its distance is 0. So if I just so happen to set its distance to 0 up here, I'll set its distance to be something that's not 0. So I put the gem just 1 block above, and I set it to have to move down 1 block. And that's all this is. So, this stupid bug that had me tearing my hair out for a day and a half was resolved by this code right here. That just says, if distance is 0, set distance to gem size, and set y to self y minus gem size. And that did it. As far as I can tell, it's done. The bug is done. The AI is no longer borked. In fact, at this point, the AI is effectively done. Morgana's AI is more or less done. It functions right now. There's one little thing left that I kind of want to do to try to make it a little more efficient, but otherwise, Morgana's AI is done, and I'm glad for that, considering I was kind of hoping to get done with it last week. And then work on Ogre's AI on Sunday. So, the last thing that I want to do is I want to go down here to Morgana's AI, and I want to say... let's see here, Morgana block, if you're not holding something... No. When you are holding something, set destination to NPC have gem find gem. So what I want to do here is add a new event above that says if clown holding is greater or equal to 3, set destination to 0. I'm effectively forcing this, I'm forcing the AI to default on itself and stop doing this have gem find gem if we're already holding 3. And this should be about all we need. If I add this in, then... Because we're gonna, our goal is to grab 3 and then throw it on top of a garbage block. But we only need to throw 3 on it. Any more is just giving more points to the opponent. So if I say, hey, we're already holding 3, instead of looking for this destination, set destination to 0. Which should cause it to default as though it could not find any more gems, and then it'll go down here and look into, are we digging? Are we dumping? What are we doing to get rid of this gem? Specifically the find trash. So just putting this in should do it, actually. I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to run this again, and we're going to see if that one little line of code actually does what I want it to do. If that one little line of code does what I want it to do, then Morgana is done. It's going to be a little bit hard to judge, of course. It just grabs 3, but 3 is all it had. Alright, well, you got stuck. That's cool. What are you doing? What are you doing? You do not have a dig destination. Its destination is 1056. It's holding. Why are you setting your destination to be 1056? When you're holding gems. You're not digging, so what are you doing? So I think my problem is that I'm stupid, and I set holding to be greater than equal to 3, and I don't want holding on a quantity to be greater than or equal to 3. Okay, let's try that again. With a little less me making a stupid mistake. And a little more Morgana's AI being done. It has 3, and it's going towards there, and it just put 3 on it when it could have grabbed 4. Yeah! I mean, it's still kind of stupid, but, like, it's better now. And it just grabs 3. So it seems to be working correctly. So that's cool beans. Look at that piece of crap do its thing. Alright. Calling it. Morgana is done. So all that's left now is Ogre. All that's left now is Ogre. Because Yuki's block, I'm not even going to write an AI for. Yuki's block is kind of a ghost block that shows up in the background. Whenever you make a match, if it's overlapping the ghost block, it destroys the ghost block and gives the opponent points for everything that it was overlapping. And the only thing you can do is try to make small matches on the locations where those are, because if you ignore them, you can still block out and lose. You can't avoid them forever, because they're just going to keep piling up and getting harder and harder to avoid. And if you do, you do anyway, you eventually block out and lose. So, you've got to get rid of them. So the only thing you could really do is try to make very small matches on them instead of big matches. And I feel like that's going to be a hard enough thing to get the AI to do, and it's such a minor AI change that, honestly, I'm just going to not even worry about it. So, since we're not even going to have code for Yuki, we can get rid of that, and all that's left is Ogre. And Ogre's block should actually be very simple to program. Because Ogre's AI is almost identical to Morgana's AI. The difference is going to be... Instead of quantity greater than or equal to 3, it's going to be quantity greater than or equal to 2. Yeah, so quantity greater than or equal to 2. Set destination to NPC find nearest trash, so we're getting ready to throw the trash down there. If destination equals to 0, set destination to clown.x. Destination equals clown.x, call throw gem. We do not want to just throw the gem. We have to make sure it's actually timed right. Hey there, Felix. Let's see here. So we already know for a fact that it is trash. Yeah, we should only be able to get in this far at all if we know for a fact that what we're after is trash. So we would be throwing it down on known trash. So... I'm going to want to write a brief function. NPC ogre color. Hmm. Hmm. Is there any more code that you can cut from the game?
I have at this point opened all event sheets, all code, and remade the moving to and from rooms and saving the game code from scratch. There is no code in the game, and now the bug doesn't happen.
Hmm.
Because I was having such a hard time cutting code from the game without breaking everything.
Yeah.
I cut it all and built it up from scratch, and now it fucking doesn't happen.
Hmm. Hmm. At this point, the only thing I could think is... I mean, if you send me a copy, I can try to fish around and maybe come up with something. Or, like, posting it on the forums.
What would I even say? The project is fucking massive. Like, this project is absolutely fucking enormous. It's 3,000 lines of code. How the fuck is anybody on the forum supposed to sit through all of that and find this fucking mess? I don't know what to do anymore. Like, if deleting all of the code makes it fixes the bug, quote unquote, then it's obviously something that has to do with the fact that my code is doing something wrong. I don't know what, but something that I have done in the code is wrong because deleting the code fixes it. Right? Presumably?
Presumably, unless your code just happens to create a unique set of circumstances that should work, but doesn't for some reason.
I don't know what to do.
Like, if you want, let me finish up what I'm working on here, and just send me the project, and I'll see what I can find. And I'll do my best. So I just wrote a very brief function here that it just searches through takes the highest gem at a given location, and returns the gem.rain color of that gem. So that should tell me the color of Ogre's rainbow gem. So I'm going to want to go back up here and have this. So if it's at its destination and the color that it's holding is the same as the rainbow color of the gem there, then you can throw gems. Else, set destination to clown.x. So it should theoretically just go to the location and wait until those colors match. And if I'm lucky, this is all I need to do. Or its AI could just bork completely. Why? Oh, why? Why, oh why, is the AI borked completely by this? I don't feel like this is what's borking it. I feel like this is what's borking it. That doesn't make any sense why that would bork it, though. Isn't there something else I have to do? Like to get the AI to even recognize... what is it? Okay, let's see here. I feel like there was something else I needed to do. And I don't know what. This is all just about advancing gems. Where I can bump this up to 13. Okay, so trash blocks take, garbage exists. Like, since I've just started using gem type is greater than or equal to 5... Find me an 11. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, so let's try, I guess... Let's just look at the code and figure out what's going on. So if garbage exists... Okay, let's run it again and actually take a look at what it's doing. Just approach this one at a time. Okay, so it does work. It's doing exactly what it needs to do, actually. It even threw 2 down. So it seems to be doing exactly what it needs to do. So the issue now is... It seems to be purely in this. I don't feel like the issue is going to be with this. I think what I need to do is just bump this down one and move you down here and move this else here. That way it doesn't mess with any of the other code. So like, if we're not even done with our destination, or if we're not even to our destination, then we can exit out. But if we're at our destination, then instead of throwing, do this. And this is purely for the find nearest trash destination set. Okay, now let's see what's up. It's throwing them down regardless. Oh, because I need to put this down here. Because I'm smart. Now you're not throwing it at all! Oh, rain color is a letter. God dang it. They will literally never be equal. Okay, I think I have a function for this. Rainbow to gnome. Okay, try this again. Oh, it's beautiful. I think that's it. Oh, Platinum Venus actually changed how the combo meter works. I don't know if I'll change it again in the future or not, but it works pretty well now. In that, instead of resetting the timer every time you make a match, your first match sets the combo timer to 5 seconds. If the combo timer is running, it'll set the match to 4 seconds. And then that time, if the combo meter is still running when you make a match, it'll set it to 3 seconds, then 2 seconds, then 1 second. And if you make a... if you've already got the combo up to like 4 or whatever, which is when it sets it to 1 second, like you have 1 second to make another match. If you make yet another match, it just drops instantly. I gotta wait. Oh man, this has gotta be such a horrendously annoying one. I feel like I would like it better if all of those were always on a global timer. Yeah, I'm feeling like I want those to be on a global timer. So how exactly do I want to handle them being on a global timer? Okay, so I've got this massive thing here where I increment them. So I don't know where this code is, but this is the code that I'm going to want. Add bookmark. Okay, that's there under rainbow block right there, okay. Simple enough. Under rainbow block, under effects. Okay, so I've got gem idle here. I don't feel like I need another one because really I'm just putting in a variable or two on that. So gems all have a timer and a rain color. So I probably don't need the timer on them anymore. But I am going to need the timer on you. Let's make a new one called timer and a new one called rain color. Okay, rain color is actually black. When do I set the initial rain color of a gem? Throw garbage. Okay, so it seems like just whenever I make them with an A. Yeah. So I think that means I'm going to take you, and I'm going to start you with an A. And then here, instead of tossing in this A, I'm going to toss in idle dot rain color. So that should always toss in whatever that happens to be, which at the moment is always A. So then down here, this I'm going to want to rewrite entirely. Make it something simpler. Actually want like all of these effectively. So I don't need to set animations. I'm just updating these. So that should cycle through those. So I don't need that anymore. And then after this, I'm going to want to put in this. Alright, later, Felix. Okay, so once we're done with all of the gem idols, so we lower that timer. cycle through the letters, and then we cycle through all the gems of type 13, and set the rain color of each one, and then set the animation of each one. So that should be enough, and hopefully that does the trick. Let's find out. It's not. Oh, because, replace object with gem idle. Replace object with gem idle. Try that again. Okay, it seems to be working now. Yeah. Seems to be working. And that should put all of Ogre's gems on a global timer now. Well, it seems to try. It's still not perfect, though. Because I put so much trouble, so much effort into rainbow, or like carrying the rainbow gems effect around. So I think just anytime I find rain color, Yeah, if it's global, then that will always be the case. So I realize I think I'm invalidating a particular aspect of this. But I think that's fine. Okay, good. We don't see that anymore. Um... Man, there's so much code that I'm invalidating by doing this. I'm gonna have so much stupid code that I don't need anymore. And it's gonna be nearly impossible for me to find all of it. Okay, 1 second. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take a look at a lot of code at this point. And determine what all of it I actually still need. Because if I'm effectively getting rid of a lot of the rain colors, then I won't need the rain color variable on almost anything anymore. Yeah, honest to goodness, if it's global, I don't need it anymore on anything. So, move gem, set rain color. We don't care. Set rain color on a gem. We do not care. Let's actually search just for the sets. Set rain colors. So that's actually the important one. That's the one we actually give a crap about. I can even get rid of this, and here, instead of self.rain color, put in now we just have to find all these sets for rain color. Set rain color. Set rain color. Rain color, set 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 rain color. Okay, so I missed some. Set rain color. Set rain color. Set rain color. Okay. Okay, so this should be now a slightly smaller look at what all uses rain color and why. Set animation to so where do I use rain? What function even is this? Block placed? I may want to look into that more. That's that. intro garbage is another one I'm gonna want to look into. What even is this? I don't care. Let's get rid of it. Honestly, this entire function now is useless. Okay, I think I simplified this down some, a little. So what uses it up here? Okay, so I create it, and I set the animation. So that's important, that's good. Block placed. What am I doing? I think these may actually be important. Yeah. How are you doing? Hmm.
I have no balance right now.
modify one of the Durango gem system. Because I realized just how much waiting you have to do. So I decided to put Ogre's gems on a global system. It used to be each gem had its own independent timer, where it would change colors. And if you only had like 1 or 2 gems, then that doesn't really matter. But especially once you started to get a little overwhelmed, you'd end up with like 20 different gems, all different colors. And it was all but impossible to get rid of all of them. So I'm trying to move it to a global timer now, so just they're all the same. Like it's gonna make his mechanic a little simpler, but it'll also make it easier to deal with. Because beforehand it was a little rough. Okay, I think I need these. So I'll leave those. So that one I need, these I need, that one I need. What is even going on here? On animation, destroy 11 finished. I guess this doesn't really matter. I'll leave it here, but I don't think I need it. Throw garbage I'm gonna want to look into because I don't need Gem Idol anymore, so we'll look at that. Update holding. What? Why does advanced gems need it? It doesn't really need it, I don't think, but I'll keep it in anyway just to be safe. Oh, wait, no, that could be problems. Yeah, that could be problems. So what about break gems? Evening, Zulius. So I think I need it in break gems. I got rid of it in advanced gems. This function is invalid right now. Update holding, I'll want to change that. Throw garbage, I want to change. This is the one that I want to get rid of this at the end. Because Destroy 11 is Morgana's block, and destroying Morgana's block will create a normal gem. So I think I set the animation down here, yeah, right there. And then this is necessary. What about move gems? Okay, move gem just has an idle. It doesn't have a letter, so I don't have to worry about move gems. I will want to update gem hold, though. So gem hold set animation, so that should get changed at the same time as that. This should only be if clown dot holding. So if the clown is holding an ogre block, set animation appropriately. And then I should be able to get rid of this down here. I need to write this down. So I am still going to want to look at update holding to make sure that gets set right. Throw garbage. So I got rid of it in there because we don't need it. So I've got that there, that's set up, that's important. So block placed is important. Yes. Make block. So this is when a move gem is done moving. This is gonna have to change too. This should be as simple as, so that should be as simple as that, and that should be good. Block place should be good. This should be good. This should be good. Through garbage I want to look at. Update holding I want to look at. What about break gems? Break gems should be good as well. Advanced gems should be good. And then I need to look at NPC overcolor. Okay, so where is NPC overcolor called? It should be right up here. So I should be able to just do that now. And that means this is now unnecessary. Update holding. Update holding should be an easy enough one to look at. Yeah, there's not a lot going on in update holding. Yeah, that should be fairly simple. I'm just going to want something very similar to this down near update holding. And that should take care of update holding. And then finally, throw garbage I wanted to look at. Because I shouldn't need the rainbow color parameter anymore, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Parameter 5. Yeah, so I don't set that anymore. That's fine. Don't set that anymore, that's fine. This is still the competitive puzzle game, where I'm looking to finish up the AI today. Finally. So where do I call throw garbage? Okay, I call throw garbage here. We do not need that last parameter. Okay. Theoretically, this should work. So I think this is where I added this in. So this is just under effects for each move gem. And down here somewhere should be a... here we are. Okay, theoretically. I don't know, that was a pretty major overhaul to the code that I just did, and I did it not knowing the full extent of everything it is that I just did. So, I'm gonna be honest right now, I am very fearful that I just created a bug deep down somewhere that I'll probably never find. seems to be working fine. Okay, now for the big test. You done fudged up? Oh, that's why. Yeah, there will almost always be bugs in games, but some games can be more buggy than others, and you really want to try to make your game as bug-free as possible. Like, there's no amount of, oh, there's a bug here, but I'm just not going to worry about it. Like, you should try your best to solve that bug. Otherwise, problems are going to compound on top of problems on top of problems. Okay, so that should fix Ogre's AI. What? What? Yes, of course your AI doesn't know what to do anything. I wouldn't know what to do in anything here, either. What is even going on right now? I think I know what the problem is. Fixing it's going to be a whole other problem, but I may know what the problem is. I'll know whenever I can find that one block that's just floating up there in the air. It's one of these 60 gems. Any of them. Give me any of the gems that are floating up there in the air. Yeah. Okay, so the problem is probably... effects... Where do I set destroyed equal to 1? It's under break gems. Set destroyed equal to 1. Set animation to that. Wait, why are they still changing color? There's an issue. Why are they still changing color? They should only be changing their animations if destroyed is equal to 1. What? That's it. That's the only place. I don't get it. That's the only place that the code is changed. That's it. That's the only place. Go away. We have two different gems up there, and they're not even changing at the same time. One of them is bugged. What's going on? Is also been destroyed. They're not synced with the rest of the gems, so they're unique, but they've been... What is going on? And how are they changing their animation? Can't even find my recursive function now. Okay, it's you. It's gotta be something to do with this. It's gotta be something to do with this. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea what the issue is, Zulius. I don't even know where to begin. Maybe, potentially, possibly, it's somewhere in this recursive function that it's actually getting destroyed. But I don't know. Alright. What do you feel up for?
We have an as of yet unknown amount of money left on the Wendy's gift card.
Alright, we can go to Wendy's if you want. So this is a problem. I don't know if this is my problem, but this is a problem. That may have solved the problem. Man, if you want to beat the very hard AI, play is over. And pray you can send it a ton of garbage before it can kill you. I think that may have done it, though. I'm gonna set this timer to 1 instead. Okay, let's see if this is a little more reasonable. Um... I did it! I beat the AI! I also don't feel like moving that down to 1 second feels too difficult. And that means... Um... So the last thing that I want to do is look at rain color. Because there's a rain color variable on the gem. Gem idle, I want it to be. Gem hold, I don't think I need it to be. So I need to look at rain color, though. And I need to see where all rain color exists. Like, where all do I reference rain color? Gem idle rain color. Gem idle rain color, gem idle rain color. Gem idle rain color. Gem idle rain color. Gem idle rain color, gem idle rain color. Gem idle rain color. Gem idle rain color. Gem idle rain color. That function at the end I don't even need anymore, so I can get rid of this. So I don't think I need this gem idle rain color anymore. Or potentially the timer, either. Text win has a timer. Move gem has a timer. Do I reference that anywhere, though? I said it, but do I reference it? It was Volume 3 that Haseo stopped being an edgy teen, and honestly, even in Volume 3, after he stopped being an edgy teen, he was still kind of an edgy teen. Okay, so do I reference timer anywhere? I do. Oh my goodness. Why? Gem type. Oh, for the bombs, yeah. Okay, so I cannot get rid of that on that. That's for sure. Text win as a timer. What about move gem as timer? Okay, so I think I can get rid of the rain color. So gem hold, gem idle. Gem hold, I think I can get rid of rain color. I need it on there. On the gem, I can get rid of rain color. And on move gem, I can get rid of rain color. I don't know if I can get rid of the timer on Move Gem. I probably can, but I'm not sure. So I may leave it. Like, I think I can get rid of it. No, I use MoveGem.timer. I cannot get rid of that. Okay. Okay, so one last test. To make sure that everything works, now that I've removed the Move Gem or the Rain Gem variable from a lot of things. Now that I've made it effectively pointless. Speed going so I can tell what's going on. I mean, everything seems to be working. As far as the most awesome folks are more edgy goes, honest to goodness, I feel like that's something... I feel like that is an opinion that you or at least oftentimes grow out of.
Yeah, honestly, most awesome folks I know are enthusiastically positive about things and aren't ridiculous.
I mean, just like thinking just edgy, flat. Like I know when I was in high school.
The phrase "awesome folks" is entirely subjective.
But I know, when I was in high school, I thought, like, any of the real edgy characters in, like, anime or whatever, I thought they were cool. I thought they were friggin' awesome. Like, Vegeta was my favorite Dragon Ball Z guy. I was always looking for the anti-heroes in everything. I thought Haseo was pretty cool. Like, man, look how cool this thing is that he's doing. In, what was it? It was this dude in Star Ocean 3 that, like, he was just ate up and, like, edgy as all get out, and, like, I thought he was friggin' awesome. And I feel like that's also where a lot of people are super excited for the new Dot Hack, like, the episode 4 of Dot Hack. And I feel like the reason I'm not as excited is when I originally played GU. When I played GU as a kid, I was a lot more into that, like, edgy awesome kind of thing. And it's been a long time since then. And I've honestly, like, I've grown. I've aged. I've matured. And I feel like I've grown out of thinking that is as awesome as I used to. To the point that now I look at Haseo and just kind of shake my head. And like nowadays though, I feel like the kind of thing that I find, the kind of thing that I find more awesome, the kind of thing that I find cooler, is something that's more basely positive. Like, people doing positive things, people being helpful, and people going above and beyond, even putting themselves in danger, putting themselves at risk in order to do that. And that's where, like, I like Kite from the original quadrilogy. Because he just wanted to help. He just wanted to be a good guy because he was a good guy. And yet, in order to do that, in order to help people, in order to protect people, he pushed himself and got himself involved in so much crap because of that. And, like, that's where I've changed to now. Where, like, I want a new Dot Hack with a Kite protagonist. Okay. Okay, I'll give this one more go on very hard. Admittedly, a Sasuke from Naruto was always just like a little over-the-top edgelord, and I don't think I ever really liked Sasuke. Naruto was, like, annoyingly positive, but, like, I could get behind Naruto. Sasuke was... I couldn't do Sasuke. I could never do Sasuke. Everything seems to be working. Everything seems to be fine, even though I got rid of those variables. Now, a depressed guy would be more passive. Sasuke was more angry, which is like being... I don't know, edgy is like being depressed but angry.
I disagree. Edgy is like being sad but angry.
That's true, that's true.
Depressed but angry would just be a really angry lethargic person.
Yeah, like if you... Sad but angry is more accurate if you actually look at, like, what an actual depression is.
Like, I forget what exactly the phrase is, but I think it's something like, the opposite of work is not play, the opposite of work is depression. It's just
Alright, folks, I think I fixed the bug with Ogre's blocks. I'm not entirely sure why that was causing the problem, but it was most assuredly causing problems, so I fixed it, and it seems to have solved the problem. I cleaned up a little bit of the code with all the extra stuff. His gems are now on a global cycle, so that's cool. Otherwise, everything about the AI and everything about the blocks seems to work. Yeah, otherwise everything else about the blocks seems to work. And, the block seems to work, the AIs seem to work. Like, the AIs seem to have their crap together. Has Ichigo reached Mary Sue level? I'll say, Bleach ended a year or two ago now. It was a fair long time ago that Bleach actually ended, and Ichigo managed to reach above and beyond Mary Sue. Like, Ichigo went places. Like, what was it? There was something that Pixar had said, I think, about writing stories, where, use coincidences to get your characters into trouble. Do not use coincidences to get your characters out of trouble. That's cheating. And let me tell you how many incidences they got everybody into in Bleach that they solved with really convenient coincidences that usually made Ichigo into more of a Mary Sue. Like, I'll say, and I'll wrap this up because we need to finish up here. Just a note on them all. Like, if I stream after dinner, I'm going to stream Final Fantasy.
I don't care what you stream.
Okay.
Just say, if you want.
Yeah. I'll say though, I liked Bleach when it first came out. I thought they did some neat things with that, with it. Probably up until the end of the initial Soul Society arc. After the Soul Society arc, I don't feel like he knew what the crap he wanted to do. And the story just went places, and like it was trying to be more cool, but it simultaneously pulled crap out of its butt and made less sense, and I don't know. Like, after that, Bleach just went downhill for me. Naruto... I liked Naruto as a kid. I think the Shippuden series came at right about the right time, because I think that's about the time that I was getting tired of kid Naruto, and I was looking for something a little more mature. And Shippuden came out and pretty much delivered to me what I need. Then I enjoyed Shippuden up until the end of Shippuden. And I feel like Shippuden ended right around the time it needed to end. Because I feel like I was growing beyond Naruto right around the end of Naruto. And if it had gone on for too much longer, I would have lost interest in Naruto. One Piece is timeless. Always have loved One Piece, always will love One Piece. And then Boruto came out, and Boruto went back to like, hey, let's go back to Kid Naruto, and I have zero interest in Boruto at all, ever, period. But One Piece. Alright, everybody, I'm going to say right now, as far as this game goes, I think I'm done with the AI. I think the AI is done. Which means I finally get to do something else. Finally! I think with AI hell behind us, things from here should go a little less hating life. So the next thing I'm going to do is work on aesthetics and just try to get it to look good. I'll try to get some menus in that handle things a little bit better. And I think once I've got some decent menus, and once I've got some decent graphics in, I think it'll be about time for me to try to find someone to make music. Once music is slowly in the works, I'm going to want to work on different game modes, because I don't want just like verses and like online versus, offline versus, story. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of fun modes that come from these games. Like, I want a story mode, I want a, I think an endless mode would be neat, but I have no idea how to do an endless mode with this game. I think the idea with endless is, instead of having an opponent that you can, like, knock out, and that ends the match, they're racing against some ever-encroaching danger. For that, I feel like it would be something like having the gems actually advance from the bottom at a set pace that goes faster. Maybe it eventually reaches a point where it stops going faster. Because if it keeps going faster, then it'll eventually just, like, go thump and you're done. And that... it's not really endless if there's... if it gets to the point where it just ends. And... so... like, working on different game modes is gonna be a thing, and the be-all, end-all, the last thing that I'm doing, because it's going to be the most painful, is online. I feel like if at any point in this I get to the point that I'm going to hate myself, it's getting this to work online.
Don't worry. I'm already there, so just enjoy it.
I do feel I at least have the pro of, if it's just completely impossible for me to get to work online, I'll just say it's offline only, too bad. And then, like, I don't know, I won't charge people for it, I guess. Like $3 or something. If it's not online. But we've got some work ahead of us. Next thing we're going to be doing is aestheticing. We're going to be doing some art. That's going to be fun. I don't actually know what I want the art in this game to look like. So I'm going to have to sit down and do a bit of research on that one. And figure out what exactly I want. So, with that said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream. We're gonna go get some food. I may stream a bit later because Barry is feeling a little down right now because of visual out issues. So everyone send her your love and support. And money.
I'll accept that. Actually, I don't know if I can actually ship this thing someday. Ever.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm gonna call it for now. We'll pick up at a later time. I may not stream game dev tomorrow if I'm still doing research. So, I may stream later, though. If I do, I'm going to stream Final Fantasy, because I have run the new 24-man raid probably 10 times, and I have only seen a monk piece at all drop once. And I was Paladin at the time, so it went to the monk. Alright. Well, we're gonna go get some food. Later, everybody.